Hi everyone! This week in math, we're going to be talking all about multiplication. So we're going to be learning the concepts that make up multiplication. We're going to be learning how to apply those concepts to do some multiplication problems, okay? So let's jump right in. All right, so what is multiplication? Well, multiplication is just repeated addition. So what does that mean? So repeated addition is when you add the same number multiple times, okay? So for example, the multiplication problem 2 times 3 is just like saying two groups of 3. So that would be 3 plus 3, right? Two groups, 1, 2, of 3. 3 plus 3. All right, that can also look like this over here. Two groups of 3. 2 times 3. All right, so two groups of 3, 2 times 3. How many is that? Let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 plus 3 is 6, and 2 times 3 is 6. So these are all ways to show the answer to this problem, which is 6, right? So 2 times 3, two groups of 3. When we count up two groups of 3, we get 6. All right? So that is multiplication. Let's try another one together. All right, so multiplication, remember, it's just repeated addition. So this is 5 times 2, or 5 groups of 2. All right, so 5 groups of 2 looks like 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of 2. It also looks like these pictures over here. So 5 groups of 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups, and each group has 2 in it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. So when we count all those up, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So our answer, 5 times 2, is 10. All right, let's try one more. All right, this time it's 3 times 3, or 3 groups of 3. So 3 groups of 3 is the same as 3 plus 3 plus 3. 3 groups of 3, 3 groups, 1, 2, 3, and each group has 3 in it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So 3 groups of 3, we count up each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 3 times 3, or 3 groups of 3, the answer is 9. All right. All right, so this one, 3 times 1, or 3 groups of 1. Or 3 groups of 1. So we have 3 groups of 1, 1, 2, 3, which is also displayed as these 3 groups of one single dot, right? So we have 1, 2, 3 groups, and each group only has one dot in it. So 1, 2, 3, 3 times 1 is 3. All right, so something else that's important with multiplication. This is a super, super important concept, so listen up real close. So with multiplication, it's repeated addition. So in multiplication, 3 times 1 is the same as 1 times 3, okay? So 3 times 1, or 3 groups of 1, so that would be represented like this, 3 groups of 1 each, is the same thing as one group of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 3 times 1, the answer to 3 times 1 is 3, and the answer to 1 times 3 is 3. All right, 3 groups 1 time is the same as one group 3 times, or one group of 3. 3 groups of 1 is the same as one group of 3. All right, that's very, very important to know when we do multiplication. You're going to run into that a lot, okay? So let's do one more. 5 times 1, or 5 groups of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, represented by 5 groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each group has 1 in it. So the answer, 5 times 1, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so 5 times 1 is 5. So when you guys are working on your mathematics multiplication activities this week, they're going to look a lot like this, okay? So it's going to say your turn at the top. All right. At first, it's going to have, you're always going to have your multiplication problem over here on the left, okay? Below that, it's going to show you what the addition problem is that is the same thing as that multiplication problem. So for example, 2 times 1 is 2 groups of 1, which is the same as 1 plus 1. Your job in these activities is to move these groups into their correct the correct number of groups into this blue square right here, okay? This blue square is kind of like your answer box, okay? So this blue square is going to be where you put your groups of dots, okay? So 2 times 1 is 2 groups of 1. So we need 2 groups that have 1 in it. These groups all have 1 in them, and we need 2 groups of 1. So we're going to put 2 groups of 1 into our blue space here. Okay, 2 groups of 1, 2 times 1 equals 2. So we're going to type the number 2 here in the bottom. Or you can write it in if you have an iPad or a phone. You're more than welcome to write it in. For me, I'm using a laptop, so it's easy to type it in. You just click on the box and type the number in, okay? So let's try this one. This is another example of what your problems could look like during your activities this week. So 2 times 2 is the same as 2 plus 2. All right, so here you're looking for 2 groups of 2. So your groups are all numbered here. You have 2 in each group, right? So 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All these groups have 2 in them. You need 2 groups of 2. So let's pull 2 groups of 2 into our blue square. 2 groups of 2 into our blue square. Now let's add it up. We have 1 2 3 4. So 2 times 2 is 4. All right, let's do one more here. So this is 4 times 2, or 4 groups of 2. Okay? So 4 groups of 2 is the same as 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? 4 groups of 2, let's show that with our models here, okay? So 4 groups of 2. Each of these has 2 in it. So our groups of 2 are taken care of. We need 4 groups of 2. So let's put 4 of these groups into this blue space. 1 2 3 4. 4 groups of 2 into our blue space. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 4 times 2 is 8. All right, so that is how our activity is going to be. That's how our activities are going to look this week. Okay, they're going to have this nice blue square. It's bright blue. You're going to be dragging and dropping the correct number of groups for each answer, for each problem into the blue box. Okay. On every activity, I'll show you guys what Mondays is going to look like. For every activity, you're going to have a direction slide. Okay, so it's going to tell you, read the multiplication problem on the left side of the slide. Using the dots on the right side of the slide, drag and drop the correct number of dots into the bright blue square. Okay, then type the answer to the problem into the box in the bottom right corner. Okay, just like we practiced on the last one. Okay, so that is what it's going to look like this week. Okay. Here's an example that I already did for you. 1 times 1, right? One group of 1. I dragged and dropped one group of 1 into our blue box. 1 times 1 is 1, and I typed it down here into my box at the bottom right-hand corner. Okay? If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me through Remind or email and let me know, okay? Good luck, guys, and you're going to do great.